everybody to episode 18 of the Take Aim Gamescast. I am the Microsoft/PC expert, the host, Scott Mills.
Yeah, what a WWE entrance right there.
And on my left, I've got the Sony PlayStation expert, Brett.
Who would win in a fight between a silverback gorilla and a brown bear? Scott, go.
Bear.
Definitely the bear. It's not.
Okay, I chose the gorilla because it has two thumbs.
What do you think the gorilla's gonna do? Like punch him or something?
Yeah.
The fucking
It can make
bear's just gonna bite down on those fucking
gorilla.
on
Silverback.
those fists and
A
just
silverback
rip 'em right
gorilla.
out.
I don't know, man.
It's got fucking claws, dude. No, that's not even close.
And on my right, I've got the Nintendo expert, the little bit of everything expert, the newsman, Eric King.
And I feel like I should get up and start doing like the Brock Lesnar dance. Like, he's really hyping this up.
I'll be Paul Heyman.
Yeah, I got add a little bit of excitement to these videos.
Yeah, what happened to the robot? No more
Yeah,
robot this
Well,
week?
we did that for like 3 episodes,
Yeah,
and then it was starting to get a little stale.
it was
so
kinda
now we
running its
gotta
course.
change it up again.
Now we are WWE entertainers now.
That's right.
Nice.
So today we've got Eric with the news. We're just gonna start with that.
Well, thank you, host.
The news with Eric King.
We're gonna like fuck up this.
Yeah, this table was gonna like collapse. Steve the Hunter.
Thank you, Rocky.
Sorry.
But yeah, we got quite a bit of news as usual this week. This actually might be the most news articles I've had since we've done our news segment.
Wow, I was thinking
But,
it was gonna be a light week.
I kind of have it in a weird order though, but I'm gonna try to go in order of each company. Cause I got like some Nintendo news, we got some PlayStation news, we got some Xbox news. So I'm gonna start off with Nintendo because I don't have all that much news on them. But I saw that Nintendo's bringing virtual reality to their system finally.
Oh.
And
Well, haven't they had that for a while? For a little bit?
Well, they have it for the Labo now.
That's what it's for.
Yeah, because that's what it's gonna run through is Labo,
Right.
Nintendo Labo, but they're bringing it to some of their actual games now. So Zelda and Mario, both Zelda Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey
Right.
are gonna be getting virtual reality, and it's gonna be through the Labo. So I don't know how good the Labo is. I don't know if you've seen like any reviews on that or anything.
It's probably gonna be like how who was it? Google that was using the Google Cardboard, where like you stick your phone in there.
Yeah.
And then obviously for the Zelda and Odyssey, it's gonna be the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, like I never used a Google Cardboard or whatever to see how it looks like with the VR. I mean, I'm glad I have a dedicated headset for VR with the PSVR.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it seems like Nintendo really wants to dip into the VR space, and it's not very crowded right now. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think the more the merrier on VR because the only way it's gonna move forward at all is if more people start doing it. So.
Yeah.
Well, I think I read an article too, on the VR subject that PlayStation VR hit the over 2 billion mark in terms of like profit for VR.
Really?
So it seems like Sony's actually kind of hitting their stride with all the VR games they've been announcing.
That's like total like games and everything.
I don't recall, but I just remember seeing that $2 billion mark. I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, but it's
Well,
Um,
games and everything. Yeah,
there's a lot. Now that this VR's been out for almost 3 years now, it seems like it's kind of hitting its stride where like more developers are making games for it.
Yeah, there's
and
been a
it's
few like really good games for it. Like what was that? Didn't you play Astrobot?
I wanted to.
Oh, you didn't.
I haven't played Astrobot, no, or Moss. Those were 2 big VR games that were critically acclaimed. But I played like Resident Evil 7 VR. You played more than me, but
Skyrim VR. That was
Skyrim
cool.
VR was cool.
Mhm.
Seemed like the difficulty was a lot lower on that, but
I played Farpoint. I played Titanic VR and
dabbled in like Gran Turismo.
Gran Turismo a little bit. I
played some of Dirt. Dirt
Yeah.
was cool on
I
VR.
played Accounting Plus on VR. Got the platinum in that game. So yeah, it's a cool system. So I think with Nintendo trying to get into it too, it's they're trying to really sell those. I think that Nintendo Labo, because I don't think it did well commercially.
Yeah.
I think that's due to mostly the price point they had it for. So it's pretty expensive. So.
All right. Well, next news article is another Nintendo one. This one's more of just a rumor though than a actual news. But according to this rumor, Persona 5, Metroid Prime Trilogy, and A Link to the Past are all supposed to be coming to Switch. And that was according to a leak from some kind of Best Buy employee, I guess. And apparently they have some kind of leaking terminal on the internet or something.
What?
Where they have stuff that leaks and then they post to it or whatever. But
is it like do they have like a UPC for it or something? Like it's like in their like a placeholder like in their system for it. Is that where the leak comes from?
Well, it's from an internal employee terminal. It says so. I don't really know exactly.
I know a lot of times like you'll see a lot of like leaks due to that the system will have it like in place.
Yeah, I think that's what I was going for.
Yeah, there's like a placeholder in there for that game. Because I think last year on E3, that's when like Rage 2 was kind of leaked.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was from a Walmart thing like that. So I think that's where the Best Buy employee must have got it from. But Persona 5 again, that was my game of the year in 2017. Such a great game, and Atlas being a Japanese publisher, it doesn't surprise me that it's coming to Nintendo, and I'm excited for Nintendo fans actually, who don't have a console to play on the Switch. I'm not familiar with the Metroid Prime series. I know what it is, but I haven't played any of them.
Perfect time to jump in if this happens.
Yeah, maybe. Because I'm intrigued by Metroid Prime 4, and I kind of don't want to miss out on that. And what was the third game?
Well, we've been hearing rumors too about the trilogy for a while.
Yeah,
so it would be cool. And the third game is A Link to the Past, which
that was originally
that was Super Nintendo.
Was that Zelda?
I thought that was
like a Zelda 2?
A Link to the Past was a new game coming out though.
No, that's Link's Awakening.
Oh, Link's Awakening.
That's from the Game Boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, A Link to the Past is like the same type of game. It's like an overhead type of of game. So
Isn't that Zelda 2
I
though?
think that's why I mistook it for.
I'm pretty sure it's Zelda 2, isn't it?
A Link to the Past.
Yeah.
I think it might be 2, maybe. I don't recall, but I remember playing it on my Game Boy Advance, like a port of it. So, but yeah, it's like a top-down adventure game. Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Same basic thing as the Link's Awakening.
Yeah, it came out as the third installment in the Legend of Zelda series.
One, so.
Yeah, it came out on the SNES, Scott. So you were right. What were the first one was called Legend of Zelda, and Zelda 2 was Adventure of Link. So this is the third game in the series.
Okay.
So.
Next news story. Microsoft. This one's some news for you,
Yes.
Scott. Microsoft's reportedly combining Xbox Gamepass and Xbox Live subscriptions. And I think this one's just kind of a rumor, too, as of right now. But supposedly...
Are they increasing the price then?
Well, supposedly... Well, decrease, but supposedly it's going to be $15 for both combined.
Okay.
Together.
A month.
Yeah.
I would do that.
I mean, I think it's a leak right now still, but I don't know if they would do like a yearly subscription maybe.
Well, wasn't it if you buy a year $60 or buy a year of gold?
Of each. Like $60 for gold, right?
Yeah, but Game Pass isn't that what $10? So that's just $15 a month anyways.
Yeah, they
so
were each
that's
they're each $10 a month right now.
Not gold.
Yeah, if you buy it monthly.
Yeah, but you're buying for a whole year. That's your best deal. That's $60.
Yeah.
Most people
you
buy by a
it
year.
Yearly.
I don't.
Oh.
You don't?
I just have a subscription right now.
Oh.
But I don't know. Like this is just a leak. I think right now. Yeah, it's like a reputable Xbox leaker who leaked this news, which. Yeah, $14.99 a month it says. So. I don't know. Maybe he's not letting the whole news out. Maybe they're gonna do like a yearly subscription for both of them. That'd be cool, I think.
Yeah.
Get both of them maybe for $70 or something.
Yeah.
$70, $80, but
Seems like a good idea to me.
okay. And Destiny 2 or Division 2. I'm sorry.
Division 2.
Easter egg teases a possible Vikings Assassin's Creed. Any interest in that from either of you guys?
Yes.
The Vikings?
Yeah, I saw that rumor today too, and I think they announced that they're not doing an Assassin's Creed game this year. They're taking their year break.
Good.
They did that between.
they need to take a break.
They did between Syndicate and Origins, so it's good to take a little break and get this game hyped. I think the Nordic, area region, from God of War and Thor and Marvel Comics, and then there's another. Wasn't there? For Honor had some Viking stuff, and I'm missing a game that has a Nordic influence. And I'm sorry, I forget what it's called, but I think it's cool. I mean, it's an area that a lot of games now are dipping into, and it'd be cool to play as a Viking.
Yeah. Well, no, if they are going to take a year off, I think it's definitely a good plan because I thought Origins was so much better than their previous installment.
Oh, no doubt.
After I played Odyssey, I was really impressed with Odyssey. Even, and
they didn't take a year off for that though, and
so
because different studios were making those games.
Plus, I feel like part of it was similar to some of the stuff that was in Origins too. So
yeah, that's what I think that they used a lot of the stuff from Origins and Odyssey. So Origins/Odyssey, I guess. But I was impressed with that system that they have. I really enjoyed it. It kind of reminded me of the old BioWare RPG games.
Did you beat that entire game?
No, I played the intro. They gave it to me after I did the Project Stream beta. They gave me a copy of it, a PC copy of it, so I can play the rest of it. And they saved my progress too, so I just need to find time to jump back into it.
Yeah, because I've gotten to level 20 on that game, and I kind of got burned out on it. I just can't.
Yeah.
I can't get back into it right now, but that game seems so huge compared to Origins. Because Origins was big, but Origins was beatable. The Odyssey is so freaking big. You gotta put 100 hours on that thing.
Yeah. Well, I think for me, Ancient Egypt was more of a interesting area to go into because not a lot of games have hit that time period. So I thought it was just cool just to see the pyramids of Giza and the lighthouse of Alexandria, which was one of the 7 wonders of the world, along with the pyramids, and seeing the library. I forget what's its official name, but the huge library that they had in that time period. So yeah, Odyssey never grabbed me. I just never really got into it as I thought I was going to. Because I enjoyed Origins so much, and it kind of played just like Origins.
So you're kind of burned out on that system.
Yeah. This Origins was so new, and I think at that time I was ready for an open world RPG game that was set in such a time period that I've always been fascinated with. That it just grabbed me, and I think it grabbed Eric too, because he actually beat it. So we were all surprised by that.
That's kind of where I haven't even I haven't even really played Assassin's Creed games, and so to just jump into it.
I'll let you borrow Origins.
I mean, I might play it. Yeah, eventually.
Yeah, Origins was definitely a big step up. But I'll be excited if they do come out with a Vikings game because Vikings is one of my favorite TV shows on History Channel. So it'd be cool to have a game to play after that. So. Some other news: GameStop's launching a huge sale on games, consoles, and more on Sunday. Few of the prices were Resident Evil 2 for $40, Far Cry New Dawn for $20. You got Kingdom Hearts 3 for $40. And you guys gonna check this one out at all, or?
I already own most of those games.
You own all.
Besides Far Cry New Dawn.
Yeah, you own New Dawn.
But I don't have any interest of playing that game at this moment.
I've got plenty in my library of games to play right now. But if you're somebody that's looking for a console to buy, if you're for a game, one of those games,
there is a lot more games too. That was just some of them.
All I want is MLB The Show 19 pre-owned. Because I have a certificate for 20% off, and it expires next week. So all I've been asking for, all I want, everybody trading around with their show copies, if I can get one at least, please. I never bought a show game, and I really want to play it.
Yeah.
So
I kind of want to play the show too. I kind of want to get.
Yeah, Scott, were you supposed to be buying the show?
Yeah, Just haven't got around to it yet. But
All right, so
I'll face Scott and we'll live stream it.
that would be cool.
all right,
Yeah, I feel
so
like that would be pretty even because we both haven't really played the game before.
Right.
So.
I'm in. On to the next topic.
all you other Fortnite fans out there, I don't think any of us is Fortnite fans anymore at this point, but Fortnite's adding Apex Legends-like respawn system. It's coming in a future update. Don't think they gave a release date on that. I don't know if you guys have much to say about that.
Not
Back to Division 2. After talking about that leak earlier, Division 2 announced first raids releasing later this month. I think it was April 25th. Yes, I haven't actually gone through and maxed out on that game quite yet. Neither of you guys even owns the game, right?
No, I don't have this for.
So yeah, I do need to go back and.
Anybody who has maxed out and is waiting for that.
I mean, I have Days Gone coming out that day, so I don't have any interest in Division 2.
Well, I still have a couple weeks here then.
Are you going to be streaming?
Plus, I'll be on vacation that week, so.
You know what? I'll probably stream Days Gone because it's a single player game, and I don't know, maybe it'll be easier for me to stream than Kingdom Hearts 3 and Sekiro, whereas I've kind of like not been able to complete those streams. Yeah. So I want to get back and stream Sekiro, but then all the Borderlands hype has kind of like pushed me away from it. So my apologies for people that actually watch my streams. Just haven't gotten to it. So, but yeah, Days Gone could be a possible streaming game. I think it's about 20 to 25 hours if you stream that game. Okay. So yeah, maybe I will stream that. That's a good idea.
Speaking of streaming, I forgot I was going to start today by announcing my next streaming project.
Whoa!
And
timestamp this, y'all. This is what you guys been waiting for.
Well, you got a little bit of a wait still because my next game. Because I was at work today and I decided to go on YouTube.
I'm intrigued. We don't know what this game is.
I'm like, what games are coming up here? And I decided to look up.
Can we guess what it is?
Yeah, go ahead. Look. Guess what?
Well, give us like a.
Okay, so give us like 3 guesses each.
It's a game coming out.
It's on my
this year.
Fantasy Team. Reach 2.
You got it. That was
wow, first one.
But,
I didn't even get a chance to guess.
But yeah, I was looking on YouTube. I'm like, what games are coming out like that are kind of still under my radar? And I'm like, well, Rage 2. So I looked that up and it looks pretty cool. It was you could definitely tell that like it's id Software running that gameplay because it looks very fluid. And I don't know if you've seen any gameplay on it since they really had that trailer back.
Well, they're not developing the game though. They're just helping.
No, they're just working on the
Avalanche.
gunplay. Yeah.
Is it Avalanche Studios that's making that game?
Is it Avalanche? I don't recall who's doing like the story and everything, but I know
look it up again.
I know Id's working on the gunplay because you could definitely tell it looks like, Zoom gunplay as far as that goes. But yeah, it looks like a really fun game. And
it's Avalanche Studios in conjunction with id Software.
Okay. But yeah.
Coming out. So a stream is. We should expect a stream on May 14th.
May 14th.
May 14th launch day.
All
Put it on your guys' calendars because that's probably the next game I'll be streaming because I don't think I'll be doing anything between May and I'll be too busy coming up here until May. So yeah, that'll be my next time I'm streaming.
All right.
And what are you working on streaming wise, Scott?
I'm still working through Devil May Cry 5. Over halfway done with that game. I got through mission 13, and there's 20 missions. So I would say there's probably like 4 more episodes of that. So probably 2 more weeks of that. And then after that, I'll probably do some more nostalgia hour with Scott Games. And we'll see after that. I haven't really planned that far ahead yet.
No MLB show?
I mean, we could do the MLB show stream, a special one with.
That'd be cool. That'd be fun.
I think it would be fun. Yeah.
Well, you guys gotta go. Let's go GameStop. Right
No, I already checked. There's nothing pre-owned.
Oh, let's get new.
Actually, there's actually a pre-owned copy in Sandusky, but I'm not
Oh,
driving. I'm not driving an hour. I'm driving an hour and 10 minutes and get there by. Shit, it'll probably close by the time we get there. We left.
Yeah, probably.
Alright, another little Xbox Game Pass news. I know you love this Xbox Game Pass news, all this.
That's right.
Arthur fisting it too.
It's like a week. It's like a weekly thing
Who
now
cares?
for us, Brett.
Who cares?
We're always getting Xbox Gamepass.
Who really gives a shit about a new game?
Xbox, right?
I think it's all dusted and shit. I'm gonna throw it in my
Well,
closet.
I think everyone who wants to play this game probably already owns it, but Minecraft's coming to the Xbox Game Pass. Do you own that game, Scott?
I never did. I might.
You've
try
never
it
even
out.
played it?
I might try it.
Oh.
No, I never actually played Minecraft.
Oh man, there you go. Scott's gonna try
I could do
Minecraft.
it, yeah.
You should check out our world on PlayStation. It's fucking sick.
Well, he has to pay
Yeah.
for that though.
Oh,
Yeah.
we got paid for the Game Pass anyways.
Yeah.
The same.
All right. Oh,
Well,
here's
but then
some.
I would rather not pay for the game on PlayStation. The game and the PlayStation Plus.
You should get the PlayStation Plus.
Wow.
You should.
Yeah.
'Cause you
You
get
don't have
deals.
PlayStation
You
Plus?
get deals every
No.
month, and you get games cheaper
No, I stick
digitally.
with the
You should
gold.
just sell your
Like,
Xbox.
I stick with gold.
What do you think, Brett?
Only if Dominic
I
came over.
disagree.
All right. Here's some news for Brett. This news was requested specifically by Brett, but we got some PlayStation news. Persona 5 sales reach another milestone of 2.4 million copies sold.
Yeah, so Persona 5, a game developed by Atlas, and it's kind of like a niche game. It's a JRPG, turn-based combat with bright graphics and a style that's uncomparable to any other video game in the industry, and cool menus, and it's very dialogue heavy like any other JRPG game is, and like I've mentioned before, it's my game of the year of 2017. I thought it was better than Zelda and Mario and Horizon Zero Dawn. So yeah, it's just I'm excited for the people at Atlas, and I hopefully they were happy with the success of Persona 5, especially in the West, because it came to Japan maybe 6 months to a year before it came out to the West. So because they do all the voice actors and actresses and all that. So, but yeah, I'm happy for them, and I'm excited to see what this Persona 5S or Persona 5R is going to be. And I think Persona 5 is also now considered like a PlayStation hit. So now it's only $20 to play.
Nice.
And for $20, you're gonna get about 70 to 120 hours of actual gameplay.
Yeah.
So it's I think I might first play through. I didn't use a guide, nothing. I think it was 75 to 80 hours I played. So I was obsessed with it. So it's a super good, cool game.
Yeah.
And it's a game that you can't. Watching it doesn't do it justice in terms of like the graphics and the style and stuff. So I think it's really cool. People should check that game out.
Yeah, it's crazy that it's because I don't think when it came out in 2016 it was really at the top of your list.
2017.
That was 2017. Yeah, 2017. I don't think that was the top game on your list because I remember you enjoying, I think, Horizon more at that point.
Well, I saw you play. I didn't even know what Persona was until I saw Eric have it.
Because you said you never had played a Persona game before that. Even.
But after playing Persona 5, I actually seriously thought about buying like a PlayStation TV or a PlayStation Vita just to play Persona 4 Golden, which is the game before Persona 5, obviously. And I just never, I couldn't justify it because I wouldn't play a Vita. But yeah, it's definitely a game that if you like JRPGs, if you like JRPGs and also like Pokemon, this is a game that's kind of combined with both elements, because you have Personas, which are kind of like Pokemon that you can level up and then they can fuse with the other Personas. So yeah, it's a game that I think everybody should at least check out if they have any interest in what a JRPG actually is. So.
All right, and last news article of the week for me before we move on to more of your guys' stuff. Borderlands 3 is going to be an exclusive on Epic Games Store.
Yep, coming out September 13th.
Coming out September 13th.
So it's coming out September 13 on the Epic Games Store, and it's going to be exclusive to that for 6 months, and then it comes out for all the other systems. So
Well, Steam. Well, it's coming to PS4, Xbox One's on September 13th too.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's only PC.
Correct.
It's exclusive to the Epic Games Store.
Correct.
Oh, you thought it was full on exclusive?
No, that's what I thought you guys were saying.
No.
Oh, okay, okay.
So it's exclusive on.
I got the wrong.
No.
The PC expert got it wrong. Okay, sorry.
Well, it's a big deal because it's another. Scott, you're from more the PC community, the gaming community, and a lot of people are upset or frustrated with that. A lot of them have huge Steam libraries.
Yeah.
And they feel more secure buying games on Steam. I heard some people were
kind of have, but
Yeah.
I mean, I buy mine's either on Good Old Games or Steam. Really, have been my two that I go to.
Well, a lot of people were saying that Epic Game Store is kind of like not as secure in terms of like making purchases, and so we were saying that they were worried about their accounts being stolen and stuff. But I don't understand the big deal. Like it's on, you can play it on PC.
Yeah.
So I don't understand all the hoopla over that a game is exclusive to just one, I guess, application. Is it?
Yeah.
So it's like you can still play on your PC. It's not like it's coming to PS4, not Xbox One. It's coming to PC. It's just going to the Epic Game Store for 6 months compared to Steam. If you can wait that long, just wait for it to come to Steam. It's only 6 months.
Yeah.
But if you're like super hyped for it, then buy it on the Epic Game Store.
Yeah, it's really not that hard to download the Epic Game Store and
No, I think they're just trying to get.
I mean,
yeah, it's like I don't get all of that.
It is a big get for the Epic Game Store because they're an up and coming PC gaming store, and people are so ingrained in Steam. It's good to get some like a big marquee game to get people out of the mold of buying them on Steam.
Right.
So good for them.
And that's this week's news with Eric.
Yeah.
Thank you, Scott.
All right, host.
Okay, so now we're gonna go over to Brett. He has a topic that he's been waiting to talk about. Last year I think he got a little bit worried because Microsoft was buying. They bought like 8 different companies, and Sony didn't do anything company wise. So now he's like, okay,
Sony needs to counter.
Sony's like, okay, what companies can Sony buy to catch up to Microsoft?
So let me preface this by saying that I kind of got this idea, and I kind of want to talk about it because Colin already on his Colin's Last Stand side quest talked about this exact topic, and I kind of want to put my thoughts on it. So Microsoft bought 7 studios last year, and
something like that.
They bought Obsidian and Exile, Compulsion Games, Ninja Theory, Playground Games, the State of Decay developers,
Keep going.
and I was trying to name all of them. Oh, and they created the Initiative. So they bought 6 studios.
And then they created them.
Right, and they created the Initiative, which is based in Santa Monica. So Sony has not bought a first-party studio since Sucker Punch was bought. And I believe that was in 2011. So Colin made some suggestions of what studios that Sony could potentially buy.
And who's Colin again?
Colin Moriarty, he's known for working at IGN for a lot of years as an editor. And he's a big gaming personality. He was also on Kind of Funny for a couple of years, co-founder of that, and now he has his own thing going on.
Okay.
So I was watching his video, and he listed 5 studios I'm going to talk about right now that Sony should be interested in buying if the opportunity ever presents itself. And then I threw a studio in there too, just to add onto the list. So I guess I'll start with the biggest one, in my opinion, which is, and I kind of want to get some feedback from you guys and see if it would be a good get for PlayStation or, would that fit in their kind of demographic. So again, these first 5 games I'm going to talk about is Colin Moriarty. I already discussed them on his video, so I don't want to talk about it here. The first one was Insomniac Games. So Insomniac has been working with Sony for a long time. They worked on Spyro, and they recently worked on Spider-Man.
Yep.
And Spider-Man was a critically acclaimed game.
Already exclusive to PlayStation,
Yeah.
so they already have a good relationship with Sony.
Yeah. So Insomniac is, they don't seem like they're gonna sell anytime soon. They're still independent. What do you guys think about Insomniac
Yeah,
being
it makes
part
sense.
of
I mean, they're making a VR game too. Right now.
They have a VR
like,
team.
Yeah, like Stormland or something it's called, and so that could go right into PlayStation VR. And
Eric, what's your opinion on Sony?
Well, they've had a lot of like exclusive games to like either console, haven't they? Because they've had.
Well, they worked on what's that fucking game? Sunset Overdrive. And that did not do as well as I think that Microsoft Studios and Sonic was hoping. I heard it got good reviews, but I think they need to figure that Xbox is predominantly like a multiplayer focused console, and that's why Halo has thrived and Gears of War has thrived. So that's why I don't understand why Xbox people want JRPGs, because I know they would think, I want Persona 5 or whatever. I'm like, that system isn't. People are gonna want the mass people that play Xbox don't want to play that game.
But yeah, well, what have they've had exclusives for Sony too, right?
Yeah, Spider-Man, Spyro on the PlayStation 2.
See, I thought they were Spider-Man. I didn't want to like say it and be
it was
wrong,
yeah.
But okay. And Ratchet and Clank, right?
And Ratchet and Clank, you're correct.
So.
And the hot rumor right now is that there's been a new Ratchet and Clank game being announced this year.
So basically, they're little whores of doing.
Well, they have a good. Sony has seemed like they have a good relationship with a lot of.
Well, they've only done one with Xbox, right? So.
Yeah.
And then they've had multiple exclusives with Sony, so I mean, it would obviously make sense for Sony, I think, to pick them up permanently, because I'm sure they didn't want them leaving for Xbox back when they made Sunset Overdrive. So
yeah.
I think it would definitely be a good pickup. It's the first company that came to mind when you brought this topic up to me. So let's see what the rest of these are, though.
And then one mentioned, I'm gonna save I guess in my opinion, like the most critically, excuse me. Was critically acclaimed for the last. He brought up Turtle Rock Studios, which recently made Evolve. They worked on Left 4 Dead 1, and they are coming out with a new game. What's it called? Back 4 Blood or something, that we talked about a couple weeks ago or last week. So
that's right, yeah.
And that's a game that I guess they're used to making asymmetrical games, 4v1 or whatever. So that'll be an interesting choice. Like I've talked about before, I kind of had a soft spot for Turtle Rock Studios, so we'll see if that ever becomes an option.
Yeah, I think Turtle Rock would make sense too, because they don't really have a studio, like an exclusive studio that does like basically multiplayer focused games, like not any that I can think of, at least. I don't know about you guys.
They worked on Guerrilla Games worked on Killzone for a long time. That's pretty much all they worked on. And then did Insomniac make Resistance? They might have. But then they closed a studio that worked on like SOCOM and some other multiplayer games, but really right now in their lineup they really don't have like a multiplayer focused.
Yeah, so I think that would make sense, and I don't think Turtle Rock's like a real big studio either, is it? I mean,
no, I don't think so. I think maybe a little bit over 100 people.
Getting finances, I think Sony
Left 4
probably
Dead was more known as a PC type game, I think.
It is.
It worked with Valve a lot.
Yeah, I remember playing that game on PC using Ventrilo to talk to people.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think it can only help both sides, because they don't really come out with games all that often either. So.
Sony, I agree. Sony definitely needs a multiplayer focused studio.
Mm-hmm.
The next one was Level 5, and Level 5 has been recently known for their Ni no Kuni games, which have been exclusive to PC and PS4. And you guys haven't played a Ni no Kuni game, but
I don't really know much about them.
Yeah, Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch came out at PS3, and then the game I played was Ni no Kuni 2, Revenant Kingdom, and they're just JRPG games. So this maybe, but they work with I think it's Studio Ghibli or something, and they're known for like their anime drawings. So that could be a get. The fourth one he talked about was Supermassive. And Supermassive is known for creating Until Dawn and Until Dawn Rush of Blood, and I think The Impatient as well. And they're working on now like a anthropology. Do you guys don't know what that means? It's like different like stories, and like one like guess like universe kind of, or one series. Okay. So it's kind of like Final Fantasy basically, but they're coming out with different games for like that kind of anthropology. So Supermassive, Eric, Scott, you guys have both played Until Dawn.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I wasn't a big fan of it, but
I loved it Until Dawn, but I mean, I thought they were exclusive, to be honest.
No,
but I guess it was just an exclusive game that they So I guess they're third party exclusive. Is that what they're considered?
Second party.
Yeah. Second party.
Yeah,
Second
so-
party. Yeah, I mean,
And
it would make sense, but they don't release a whole lot of games. I don't know too much about the studio other than Until Dawn. So
And then the last one, the biggest one in my opinion, in terms of critically acclaimed games, is From Software. From Software, Japanese studio, known for Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro,
Yeah.
Armored Core, Tenchu, all those games, and Miyazaki. He's the president of that studio, and they have a relationship with Demon Souls and Bloodborne. So, and they're both Japanese companies. So I think that would be huge if so they could ever get their hands on From Software. I think it'd be really cool. So
I don't see that happening, but
I don't.
I think it's kind of wishful
and also
thinking.
they're Cine with VR too.
I think From Software is starting to get kind of well, not kind of. They're starting to get a very big following, and I don't think people are gonna want to lose getting Demon Souls or Dark Souls or whatever on their Xbox. and all
Yeah,
that.
that's what I was gonna say. Is that for Sony it would be huge, but for From Software, I think that their games are big enough now. Like they have enough clout. Like that, I think it does
What's
them
that? They got
more.
enough clout?
It does them more good to have it multi-platform. Yeah, clout.
Cloud.
I don't know.
What?
It's,
I don't know you
I
use
guess
that word,
it's
Scott.
reputation, but
Scout got a thesaurus this morning. I think I might use this word today. Cloud.
I don't know. Gotta put some cool vocabulary in
There you go.
there.
And there was
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if From Software would want to be bought by PlayStation to be run by them. I don't know if it makes sense for them.
Oh, I think it would make tons of sense for them. They don't have to worry about any of the marketing, and obviously they don't publish their own games.
Yeah,
Like Activision, they've been with 3 different publishers already in the past 10 years.
Yeah, but they'd be losing out on a lot of sales because I think it sells well on Xbox too. So.
and
Not
PC. I mean,
yeah.
I
PC.
played Dark Souls, like all the Dark Souls games on either Xbox or PC.
Yeah, I don't know. But those are the 5 he talked about in his video, and then I brought one, Gen Design, and Gen Design is a studio that was originally Team Ico, and they're known for my favorite game of all time, Shadow of the Colossus, and also Ico, the game, and then The Last Guardian. So it's another Japanese game studio, and I think it'd be a cool get for them to be able to get Gen Design, and they already worked with 3 games already, so why not just that studio obviously has some cool ideas and interesting lore and everything. So, but again, do we really need another third-person adventure game? I mean, that's kind of like I think Sony needs to focus on.
Sony does a lot of those.
Sony needs well, they pride themselves in third-person narrative games, so I'll just use something first-person and maybe multiplayer focus will be a cool studio to have, and then also have their little VR games too.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that was it. So yeah, so that was again, the idea was brought to us by brought to me by Colin Moriarty. So, just want to talk about that with you guys really quick, and I think Sony definitely needs to buy a studio in the next year or 2 and really show that not let Xbox and Microsoft have a one-up on them, because I think Sony undoubtedly has the best studios in the publishing space, and I think that's pretty objectively known. So
Yeah.
they just need to keep the momentum going. They can't let Xbox start gearing up to really try to chase, because I think Xbox is in a good position now. You can say that being unbiased. So Sony needs to really keep the foot on the gas and really start pushing more to get all the different mediums of video games.
Mm-hmm.
So
Is that game company? Is that an exclusive?
Gen Design or that game company.
Yeah.
I
I don't know if they're officially
who they make something. What
Journey, Flower.
No, I think they're independent.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
get them.
They should buy Team Meat.
Team what?
Team Meat.
Meat. Oh, I think Xbox should get them. Microsoft.
They make
should
Super
get
Meat
them.
Boy.
Ah.
Oh.
Which they delayed their Super Meat Boy forever.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they did. They
Okay.
announced that today.
Actually, okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't surprise me too much, but
So it's not gonna be coming out in April, but
I mean, I played it at PAX East, so
Damn, it's supposed to be coming out in April and they just delayed it?
Yeah.
Wow. Pretty late there.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
All right.
40 minutes.
Okay, so I don't know. We were talking about a debate topic, continuing on the From Software games. You're saying that. I guess we saw.
Well, I haven't said it yet.
Okay,
but...
so we saw a story somewhere that said that From Software should add difficulty modes to their games because the Dark Souls games and like Bloodborne and Sekiro are very difficult games. They're known as, and I think it would be a good idea if they had a difficulty setting, like an easier difficulty setting that you could play the game on. But I also get at the same time. Like, these games are very unique, like, and if you made it an easier difficulty setting, like on a Souls game, like, you're kind of destroying that whole, like, farming souls and trying to get yourself strong enough to be able to take down the next monsters. But
yeah, I think it definitely defeats the whole purpose of, like, Souls games, because it's supposed to be, you know, satisfying when you finally put in all this work and beat one of these big bosses. And I think if you add the difficulty mode, people are just gonna be tempted to go into the options, flip it to fucking easy just to beat this boss, and it's gonna
maybe that is a key to their success.
I wouldn't be able to resist it.
Because those games aren't necessarily known for their story, but I'm just thinking in terms of
Wait,
like, for me, I want to play through this game, and what would...
Well, you can play through it, and no one's stopping
I want to play through it and beat it, like,
no one's stopping.
No
one's stopping you from playing.
Just
you just have to put in the work.
Story
Sorry to interrupt on
Okay.
this. You said those games are not known for their stories? Because I know those
Not the
games...
Dark Souls games.
They're known for their lore in the game. Like, I know people like Jared...
Well, then that would make even more sense to put an easier difficulty mode in there so you can experience all that lore, like...
Well, you experience the lore by
I don't
picking
think
up
that's
items, by
like
reading item descriptions, and, looking at the different buildings that they have, and listening to the characters talk, and the dialogue choices they give, and all that. And
yeah, but it's not going to be as satisfying to getting to all those buildings and
but
everything
you can
if
still
you don't
play on the harder difficulty.
have a hard
if
time
you
getting
choose
to it.
do the.
Yeah, but then you're going to be
to be
tempted to
satisfied.
switch mid fucking game, and then
I think what
Which
you're
is
thinking
fine.
of is like, let's say you have an open world game, and then there's a button to make it this linear. There's no side quests. Doesn't that defeat the purpose of an open world game?
Well, that's completely different.
No, because what I'm trying to get at is that these games that From Software have made have inspired a whole genre of games.
Mhm.
I mean, look at The Surge. Look at Nio.
I don't think that you're destroying the game if you allow for a easier difficulty.
well, I don't think
setting.
every
Like,
game has to be for everybody though. Like
No, but I
Some
just
people
think that
think-
you'll get an even bigger audience if you do.
But I don't know if From
easier-
Software is
if you give
necessarily.
different difficulty levels for people to choose.
I don't know if From Software is necessarily worried about getting
Like you
bigger
can still
audiences.
have
though.
a classic difficulty setting, which is what you could say is their normal, like
No,
what
like
they want
Brett-
people to play on.
Brett
and then you
doesn't
can
like-
have an easy.
Brett doesn't want to play shooters. Shooters aren't for Brett.
But even I've seen Brett like even put games on the easy difficulty setting just to play through the campaign,
Right.
and for
Yeah,
instance,
Brett-
streaming.
I think
if
we
we're
should have
streaming,
Brett
it's
speak
easier
on
to
this,
have it on the.
Because Brett's the one that loves easy mode so much. We should have him speak on it.
Well, in my opinion, like the Souls games and like I said, it's a genre of game that is supposed to be challenging, make you think, and make you get better at playing the game and learning the combat, watching bosses, watching our movesets, and you exploiting those weaknesses that the boss is offering. It's a game challenging you to. I hate this phrase, but people always say that challenging you to get good. And
Yeah.
I feel like if you remove that, because the games are not long, in terms of like there's not a lot of area that they cover. It's mostly these bosses are really hard. There's a lot of enemies, and the reason like I bet you Sekiro can be probably beat in 8 hours if it was on easy difficulty. You could just run through the bosses because the worlds are not that big. The levels aren't that big.
That's
Whereas
fine.
open world game is going to be probably around 25 to 30 hours, a little bit more. So, yeah, I do put my games on easy when I want to. When I'm not like, totally invested in the game, or I feel like I'm not having fun with it, I'll drop down to easy because I want to experience the campaign. I'm one that talked about this before, where I'm kind of like a completionist. I want to, you know, not 100% beat the game, but beat the campaign, and be able to go like on Reddit and be able to read what people are saying about the game and see the end of the story. But like for like these games, like I just don't feel like easier difficulty would be.
And also another way, like for these people saying, "Oh, I can't experience the game because it doesn't have easy difficulty." You can experience it. Just go on freaking YouTube and watch someone stream it. You don't have to fucking play through it if you're not good enough. If you're not,
there's a difference.
You don't want to sit there and put the time in to beat it.
Playing a game and watching a game, though, like, and the level of enjoyment.
Yeah, well, there's a whole difference of playing a game on easy as opposed to playing a game on the difficulty they want you to play.
I'm playing through Devil May Cry 5 right now. So there's 6 different difficulty modes on that.
Yeah.
Now you have to beat the game on the easier difficulties, and then you can play on the harder difficulties. And in that game, you have to beat each difficulty mode. So if I beat it at the start of the game, you can choose 2 different difficulties: Devil Hunter and Easy. If you beat the game on Devil Hunter, you would still have to go back and beat the game on Easy in order to beat it. So that's a completely different system. But I kind of like that. Because it's like, okay, so you can play through the game, beat it on the first difficulty level, but then you also have the ability, like that game is built on mastering the combos too and getting the best grades on your combos. And like, so you can still master the game and get satisfaction by doing the achievements for that game to beat every difficulty level. And so if you want to be somebody who gets satisfaction from beating a difficult game, like you can keep progressing through the difficulty modes, and I feel like that's just as good of an option.
I feel like for like specifically like, you know, I can speak on like Dark Souls and like Bloodborne, since I've beaten those games. Those games are like, people say they're so hard, and like for Sekiro, for me it's hard because I just don't understand the combat. But like for those games, once you understand the combat and what you need to do to be successful, the games are pretty fair. You know, the games are not that hard. Where like
you just gotta put the time.
You just have to put the time in to learn the mechanics and learn the different movesets. Find whatever, especially in those 2 games that you can respec and like you can, well, not really respec, but you can put skills so you can grind, get your levels up, and you know your guys will be a little bit stronger. The main point is just to learn the different skills, try different weapons, see what fits your play style. And Sekiro, for me, it's tough because, again, the combat, I do not get it, and you can't really level your character, so you can't really grind and just, you know, out-level some of the bosses. So...
Alright, question real quick. Do you think if they launched this game, Sekiro, with an easy difficulty, and these reviewers went in and beat the game on easy difficulty, and then did their review based on that, do you think it would still be sitting at a 90, 92, or whatever it's sitting at? If you just went through and beat it on an easy difficulty, just tore right through all these bosses?
Yeah. Because the graphics...
You think it would still be sitting at 92?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, would you consider Mario a hard game? Mario Odyssey a hard game? And it got 97 on Metacritic.
No, well, that's not like what this game. That's not what Mario's based on. It's being like a difficult game though.
Yeah, but you're talking about difficulties in terms of. So you're saying that Sekiro got a high score because it's such a hard game?
Yeah, I think it's because I think it's more satisfying to be able to beat the game on a high difficulty, and I think if you just ran right through it,
you think that
I think they would have been like you
difficult.
said. Well, I think like you said, bro. I think if they went and played it on like an easy difficulty, they probably would have beat it in like 8 hours, and they'd be like, oh well. It's like an 8-hour campaign.
I think
like
in today's
so quick,
age,
you know, it's easy.
It's good to have the option to be able to play it in a game in different ways.
Well, you can do that. Sorry, Scott. I'll talk about you.
There's people that have they learn at a different pace. There's people who might have disabilities or something, and they might still find it challenging to be playing on an easier difficulty than, say, somebody that's played games for like 20 years and is really good at them.
Well, the games don't have to be for everyone. So.
Yeah. Well, also I want to bring up, you said that, you know, viewers, if they played the whole game on easy, let's say there was an easy mode, and they beat it in 8 hours, they wouldn't score as high. Well, I mean, God of War isn't that long of a game. I mean, it's a pretty linear game.
Yeah,
and you beat that game on easy.
God of War's like story doesn't compare at all to Sekiro.
Oh, I totally agree. I agree.
That's where that's getting that score from. It's not from playing.
But I'm just saying, like, but you're saying just because it was on easy mode, being 8 hours.
I just don't think there's that much. I just don't think there's that much to it, other than like having to grind to beat these bosses. I think that's like the whole concept of like these From Software games is grinding to beat these bosses. And
let me ask you this: is Sekiro innovative? Yes. Is Sekiro graphically impressive? Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, you can speak better.
Is Sekiro combat is satisfying? Yes.
You can speak better on it than me because I haven't actually went through and played.
Like these different elements. Is the music awesome? Yeah, the music is actually really good. It's a cool. You feel like you're in Japan in that 1500s time period. Like you get immersed in the game. It's just that for me playing the game, I just don't get the combat, so I can't will myself to. And that's my fault. That's not the game's fault. That's my fault for not understanding the combat.
Well, I think if it was an easy mode, I think you'd beat it in 8 hours and you wouldn't go back and touch the game over again. You wouldn't even appreciate the music or anything like that. You would have tore right through it.
I mean, I only have 8 hours in the game. I'm stuck on Lady Butterfly. I'm gonna try to beat her yet. And I think it's a good game, but I can't score it higher than Bloodborne only because Bloodborne it clicked for me, whereas Sekiro hasn't really done that. Not saying it won't.
Yeah.
So it's fair for me to review Sekiro when I can't even get a quarter of the... I'm probably like a quarter of the way. Around a quarter of the way through the game. Whereas I play through Bloodborne, so I know what the game can offer.
Well, I've heard a lot of people saying this is the best From Software game yet, so...
Yeah, I mean, it's innovative. It's not Dark Souls. It's not Bloodborne. It's just a challenging game that makes you think differently and mechanically is different than a lot of games that are offered nowadays. Well, I think that's its own genre.
See, I haven't played enough of it From Software, I don't think, because you gave me the controller and I thought it felt pretty similar.
You didn't really do anything.
All their other things.
You didn't do anything in the game.
Yeah, I almost killed that one dude.
No, you died!
You were dying to him, like...
Almost.
He was dying to this dude, like, left and right for, like, fucking 20 minutes. And I'm like, oh, let me get the controller and never touch the game. I almost fucking beat the guy.
No, he didn't kill. No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. Close. He was like 3/4 of the way dead.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he was, dude.
I bet you if I play that game, if I had that save point, you couldn't beat him in all night. If you played all night, you couldn't beat him.
Oh, hell yeah, I could.
Sounds like a challenge.
I feel like easy mode it's got to be said for people that might have abilities or might just want to enjoy the lore, the campaign, the story. I think it's good, but in this genre that From Software has created, in my opinion, it doesn't fit. But again, I support easy mode because I like playing a lot of my open world games on easy mode. If I can just, because my time's precious, I don't have a lot of time nowadays. Yeah. I mean, as we get older, life kind of gets in the way, but I don't have time to kind of like learn and try everything out of the game playing on hard, and I don't get any satisfaction from doing that. But when I'm playing a Soulsborne or a From Software game, that satisfaction feels pretty fucking good. So.
All right.
I wish Jared was here. I want to hear his fucking opinion on the.
You know what? So
you can leave a comment.
All right. Well, here's I guess this is a challenge for Jared. Well, he's busy.
And any of our viewers who have an opinion.
Well, next time Jared comes up, we'll bring this topic up again. Get his opinion.
Okay.
Well, we'll just have to remember.
Because I think he would agree with me. I don't think he thinks it would be.
No, Jared is one that he's agree with everybody. He'll probably find something that's
like,
even to Scott. I see what you're saying, Scott. I see what you're saying here, Brett. You're not right at all. That's what he would do because he doesn't really know you guys, so he'll just put it off on me. But we're talking shit too. He's probably gonna watch the video and be like, "Man, those guys suck." But, okay.
Yeah, but anybody who has an opinion on it, leave us a comment.
Let's hear. I want to hear what you guys have to say.
Yeah. So, again, thank you for tuning in. And I guess we'll catch you next week.
Next week!